Greetings, Geishlings. Geishan Prime here with a discussion video about the Straw Hats in general. Each one will cover a different Straw Hat. I did this week or so ago during when Golden Week was supposed to be, and then One Piece came out anyway, and I was like, I could probably do it for each one of the Straw Hats. And today we're tackling our resident, Dr. Joke, for Tony Chopper. But to be honest, in some ways, he was kind of difficult, but still fun. Uh, Obviously, we're going to cover like Hockeys, Devil Fruits, and then Awakening, that kind of stuff. There's a few fun little ideas in there too. But let's start off with Hockey. Everyone knows all the Straw Hats are eventually going to get it because, well, it's the new world. Most people have it, or bulk of every crew seems to be able to use at least one of the kinds that's, teachable. And I see Chopper being more on the observational side of things. Because as a doctor, you're no good to anybody if you get injured yourself. And that's like a thing from like Naruto where Tsunade was like a medic is worthless if they themselves get hurt because then the squad will fall apart. And in general, that is a true statement. So he could use it to avoid his injuries, and it just probably better than like armament, which he could maybe get later on. Who knows? But observation probably a bit more up his avenue or up his what's the what's the phrase up his alley. There we go. Another street. But anyway, now we move on to, well, actually, and how he could use it is that like he could see like fallen comrades in the battle, which would be a lot more useful than armament where it's like, oh, I'll beat everyone to get over to them. It's like he could actually find them, dust and everything kicking up. Just be, useful. But moving on to the Devil Fruit, his Hito no Mi, or human fruit, which, yeah, this one, like, I'll get to it more in the Awakening, but it's a devil fruit that doesn't give much in terms of like possibilities. But given what Chopper has done with it to acquire his various points and everything, we could do a bit more. Um, okay, the first idea I had was, his guard point has all that fur. And the minks, they use electricity and such because presumably due to their fur, because they're all mammals. What if he did a pseudo electro? And given that Carrot is on, with the crew right now and possibly a future crew member, Carrot for Straw Hat, he could build up static and then go to a more accessible form, because he's so bulky, he can't really move, especially after the time skip. But he builds up all that static, goes into like say, heavy point or kung fu point, and then he just starts zapping people upon contact. It seems perfect for him. And like I said, Carrot could probably teach him at least like the bare principles of it so that he could kind of work it into what he's capable of. Then we have like fusion forms, like with Kung Fu Point, for instance, was the first one, well, second one, because Monster Point was the original one where it combined all of those various forms. But Kung Fu Point combined just two, arm and jump point, because since the time skip, neither one has appeared, and he has bulky upper arms. So yeah, it's what that is. He just combined two attributes that worked good and made a new point out of them. So, and I have a picture of like all of his forms, and it's a cute picture. I'll probably put it in the video. But like, okay, we got Kung Fu Point, but what other forms could he combine? Well, either walk point mixed with horn point. It would be more of a short term usage for this one because of the general size of his horns, and it'd be top heavy as all crap. He'd probably fall over the first few times he used it, but hey, uh, could be useful. Or even heavy point, and then, like when he's digging, and then when he pops out of the ground, he could, deck someone. But the one that I find probably the most versatile in its usage is his heavy point mixed with guard point. He already has a furry neck, so the illusion is already there. So just have like more fur on his arms and on his torso, and then he has more defense to go along with his better attack. Uh, yeah, much more than that. His brain point. I don't really know where he could do more with that, and it just kind of spiced up Walk Point a bit because all he is a reindeer. But moving on to the Awakening, uh, like I mentioned before, uh, due to the nature of the fruit, it kind of narrows the possibilities down to what's the most likely outcome is just super intelligence. I mean, he already gained human level intelligence from being a normal animal to now a doctor. Not everybody becomes a doctor, and he learned all that he knows technically in 8 years, which is pretty good considering he's only 17. So he might already be super intelligent as is, but what if he just brain boosts that ever more? So, he might become Jimmy Neutron, style his hair and so, brain blast. But that was stupid. But anyway, so yeah, I could see him doing something like that maybe, and he better use his, you know, like uh, doctoring skills. In a surgery, it's like what might have been a problem before. He now sees the solution, and he could save more lives. Or in battle, he like notices the weakness mixed with his observation and finds out a better way to utilize it. I don't know. But anyway, moving on to just like general things that he could do. It was inspired by, I believe it was One Piece Grand Battle. It was a mid 2000s PlayStation 2 game. You play as Chopper at one point it was a fighting game, so all the characters that were out in the manga at that point, there was quite a few, so most of the Straw Hats were available at that point, except for Frankie and Brooke, because well, they hadn't appeared yet. But also Robin hadn't even joined yet. Now that I think about it. That game had some spoilers in it, but well, we did get the edited version over here in the States. So, but anyway, on to my point. I've rambled. Uh, he did like this one. It was kind of like a mid-range attack where he'd take his backpack off and just start, rooting through stuff, and he'd be throwing them at his opponent. It seemed to be a bit unknowing. Well, what if he does that, using his medical knowledge to his benefit? We've seen him do it a couple times, like when they were fighting Oars, like, the whole aligning his spine and then doing the damage from above would destroy him. Well, it would destroy a normal person, but, well, he could do a few things, using like small amounts of anesthesia to just knock an opponent out, or using muscle relaxers. Both of those things could shorten or completely nullify a battle where he doesn't have to fight, which then goes into the whole I want to save people, not kill people, and then the whole not getting hurt. If he's reducing the how many fights that he has to do. Plus, then he conserves energy to actually help his fellow crewmates. So, and then using chakra points, from Naruto. Yet again, mentioning that, but Like, but there are pressure points in the human body that he could maybe learn where they are and then start, using like Kung Fu Point to hit them all. Things like that. And that's about where kind of my uh, ideas kind of ran dry. uh, and be warned, in some of these videos, like I may have like remolded a few ideas from other people. I'll give them due credit, obviously, because some characters are hard to come up with things because of like their general style is not, you know, too expansive enough to really go into as much. At least not for me. But anyway, those are just some of my ideas of what Chopper might be able to do in the future. So let me know what you think, and tell me your ideas. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Keishan Prime, and I'll see you next time. Keishlings!